gentlemen from Channel 12. This morning we told you that 20 passengers were held hostage on board on Air India DC-10. Well, there's a good piece of news. The terrorist attack is finished without victims. While the terrorists were threatening all the passengers, suddenly the police broke into the plane. There were 3 terrorists against 5 policemen. For better details, we're now in touch with our correspondent in Calcutta. Nunzio, can you hear me?
Now, Pasquale, the military officer who directed the Special Force action, is here. How many policemen did you need against the terrorists?
We used 65 police officers to save the passengers of the plane.
Was it a hard mission?
The mission was the most difficult I ever done in my career, but at the end we have success.
In your opinion, if the terrorists hadn't been stopped, would they have killed anybody?
Yes, they would have killed someone because they were armed.
Now I'm going to interview one of the latest hostages released by the Special Force. What were you doing when the Special Force arrived?
I was trying to sleep with my family. It was terribly hot and suddenly there was a lot of noise outside.
You had no idea the Special Force were outside?
No, I had no idea at all. Suddenly there were many uniforms everywhere, and then there were some suits, and that was it.
Did you give up hope? While you were being held hostage, did you think about death?
I have never lost my hope. I always went on hoping that we would be safe. However, I was scared to death.
I'm going to interview a hostess who was on board the DC-10. She's still upset, but she wants to leave a direct attendance. How did the attack begin?
One of the Arabian men on the plane at that moment suddenly stood up and threatened the pilot and the passengers with a gun.
What did you do during the attack?
I was very frightened in that moment, and at the beginning I didn't know how to behave, but after some time I tried to keep calm and to help the passengers.
Are you going to keep working for this airplane company?
Yes, I am. I think that the attack could happen also in another airplane belonging to any other company.
Will you forgive the terrorists?
I don't know at the moment.
Now, Alessandro Zizzi, the pilot of the Air India DC-10, is with us. How are you now? Are you still upset?
I'm well now, but I'm still shocked because of this experience.
What did you think in those moments?
I thought that the terrorists would kill us to get what they wanted.
Did the terrorists use physical violence upon you? And you, what did you think?
The terrorists lashed me because I attempted to shake off the laces and to escape. I did nothing because I was upset.
What would you like to tell the terrorists?
To my view, it is not correct that the terrorists may choose attack ordinary people to get what they want. They ought to speak to the government and the authorities.
I'll give the line to the studio.
Thank you for the report. Now I'll give the line to another piece of news.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Channel 12 with the evening TV news, and this is the second piece of news. This morning we told about the child who got lost, and now we have some good news. And so I give the line to our correspondent.
Good evening. I'm going to interview the mother and the father of the child. How do you feel now that you have your son back?
I feel infinitely happy because a lot of mothers today don't find their children, and for these reasons I feel lucky.
I'm very happy. My baby child is still with me.
And how is your son now?
He is scared and he told me that he had a lot of fear.
He's very tired. Last hours were very terrible.
And did you have a difficult time this morning?
They were the worst hours of my life. I thought I would lose my child forever. And I hope a similar thing may not occur to me anymore.
I hated this morning.
What did you tell your son when you saw him?
I was hungry, but I didn't scold him because I was too happy to have him in my arms, and I said only, I love you.
There aren't words. I've hugged and kissed him for a long time.
And how did he look like when you saw him?
He was thinner, but that's all.
And has he said anything about the last 10 days?
Not really. He said just that he got lost.
And why do you think the police couldn't find him?
I really don't know, but I'm just glad that he's come back.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Now I'm going to interview the policeman. Good morning. Where did you find the child?
Well, an experienced told us that we had to go to the station, where we met a man who told us that he had seen the boy, but we don't know how he has found him.
And has this case been difficult?
Yeah, it's been very difficult, but we were lucky and we found the little boy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now I'm going to interview the man who found the child. Where did you find him?
I found the child in a playground on the main street. He was sitting next to a swing.
And how was he?
He was very tired and weak. He had some scratches on the body, but he was not in bad conditions, luckily.
And who was with the child?
There was nobody with the child. However, some meters ahead, I saw a suspicious man leaving.
Thank you. Now I give the line to the studio.
Thank you, Serena. You have just reported us a nice piece of news. We are very satisfied because the child has been found.
Good evening. We got an important piece of news flash. This morning, the new British high-speed train has left for London for its first trip. But about 1 p.m. something happened. We don't know why, but the train stopped near Birmingham. Our correspondent just got there. Let's send over the line to her.
Good evening. We are again to talk once more with the driver of the train. It has just finished its first travel. What's happening?
It happened between Coventry and Birmingham.
Do you know why?
Look, all I know is this. One moment we are doing 150, the next moment nothing, no power.
Was there any danger to the passengers?
Oh no, as I said, it just stopped.
And it's still there?
Yeah, they are sending a man up to London.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're very exciting and ready to start the trip.
Yes, as I said, I was hopeful, but things didn't go in the right way.
Do you think the fall can be fixed quickly by allowing the passenger to continue their travel?
I hope so. Try to ask you to the troubleshooter of the train.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now we talk about this crazy situation with the passengers. Were you able to realize what was happening when the train stopped?
When the train stopped, I thought immediately that there was a problem, but I tried to keep calm.
What did the train driver do or say not to have to the passenger get into panic?
Oh, we knew that was a problem, but we waited 30 minutes before knowing what had happened exactly.
How did you feel?
I was very worried because I wanted to know what problem there was. Therefore, I thought it was a serious one.
What are you going to do? Will you ask for a refund of ticket expense?
Of course, because of this breakdown on the train, I couldn't go to Sydney for work.
Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Now I give the line to the studio.
Thank you for the report. I give the line to the next piece of news.
Finally, it has been decided who will inherit the enormous heritage of Charlie, one of the richest men in the world, who died this morning. Certainly the lucky heir or heiress will be terribly happy in the near future, because Charlie was rolling in money. But we know that Charlie didn't have good relations with his family, but he loved his cat, Tibbles, so much. So we are going to know something more from Antonella, our interviewer. Let's hand over the line to her.
Here we are with the notary who will take care of the matter, Mrs. Helga. Good evening.
Good evening, lady.
So, do you think the daughters will contest the will?
Well, I think they will be very surprised and disappointed.
How often do your clients leave all their assets to animals?
I'm really shocked too, because it's the first time that a cat becomes millionaire, and I don't know if it's a legal procedure to leave all inheritance to a pet.
Is it normal?
Well, it's a difficult situation, especially for Charlie's children, because they couldn't imagine that their father would leave all his estate to Tibbles.
Okay, so thanks for your replies. For now, that's all. The will has already been communicated by the notary to Charlie's daughters. So, before giving the line back to the studio, I'll hand over to them so to check their mood, their reaction to this awful piece of news. Antonella, who is there with you? The younger or the elder of Charlie's daughters?
Thanks, Aurora. Good evening, everybody. Here we are with Miss Federica, Montan Charlie's second daughter.
Hello.
So, later on, my colleague is going to interview your sister, and obviously she thinks that she will be very surprised about your dad's will. What about you?
Yes, me too. Going on after my father's death has been very hard, but when we knew about his will, it got us very shocked. We've never thought that our lovely and understanding dad would something like that.
I see. And how was the relationship between you and him?
Oh, we were very rehearsed. We spent an hour every Friday together. I think I was his favorite daughter. In fact, to be honest, I thought he was going to give me the majority of the heritage.
So how do you feel now?
Well, I'm a bit disappointed and upset. I mean, what could a cat do with all that money? Instead, they would have been useful to me.
And okay, let's talk about the cat. Do you like him? And how is the relationship between you and him right now?
Well, before all this stuff, yes, I did, but now a bit less. Of course, we were very surprised. I mean, well, really.
But did you know that your father loves Tribbles so much?
Oh, yes, Tibbles couldn't do anything wrong. It always had the best thing of everything, and now it's ridiculous.
Whoa, the world's first millionaire cat. Thank you for spending some of your time with us. Now I'm going to interview Montan Charlie's nurse. You've been Mr. Charlie's nurse for so many years. Please tell me, how was Montan Charlie's like? I mean, it was really a mean person, as a lot of people used to say.
No, he was very friendly and generous and funny with me. He always smiled with everything.
So, how much time did you spend with him?
We spent together much time. We enjoyed a lot together. I will miss him and everything we did together.
And did you expect that Montag would have given you part of his inheritance?
Maybe a little part, but it isn't very important for me.
Okay, but what's your opinion about his choice?
In my opinion, his choice is very strange because I didn't imagine that he could do it.
Yeah, thank you for allowing me to get some time for you. That's all, back to the studio.
Thank you for the report, Antonella. How will the millionaire cat spend his money? That's so absurd. This is the last piece of news for today, so let's make a summary of the news just broadcast. The terrorist attack has ended, and there weren't victims. The missing child was found. The new British high-speed train just stopped, but there weren't serious problems with the passengers. And finally, we have the first millionaire cat in the world. That's all for today. So, our newscast is over. Thank you for your attention and goodbye.